Welcome back, boys and girls, for another Math Daily Review video. So this week we have some new problems, some old ones, some new ones, but I thought I'd take the time and go over each one so that you be prepared for this week's assignments. Also, there's going to be a video on rounding, and I also want to do another one on decimals and fractions, so pay attention to those. So let's review. These are notes for today. You have these notes, or should have them in your homework folder. So number one is a review of subtracting with zeros. Remember, if you have more on top, you can subtract normally. 3 minus 2 is 1. But here is your problem. You have all these zeros here. So you have to regroup from the 10,000s place. When you take one away, you'll have one left, but you're not really taking it away. You're exchanging it for 10,000s. So I took one 10,000 and I exchanged it for 10,000s. Now I'm going to take one of those thousands and exchange it for 10 hundreds. And you keep doing this because remember, 10 of each value is one of a higher one. So one 10,000 is 10 hundreds. 10,000s. 10,000s is one 10,000. So you're moving, as you move down, you're unbundling. So I take one of those hundreds and I exchange it for 10 tens. And now I've regrouped enough where all the numbers on top are bigger than all the ones on the bottom, and I can subtract very easily. If there isn't a number here, a zero is here. So you just bring this down. So that would be the answer to that problem, 11,411. Now we have this one, we're multiplying by 0. So this is actually a little easier. There's two ways to do it. First way, multiply normally using the algorithm. If you have 1 0 here, you can just bring it down and you cross it out. And then you can multiply across. 8 times 1 is 8. And then 6 times 8 is 48. So the answer would be 4,880. The other way to do it is to draw an array. Make sure you label both sides. And 80 you can leave. You don't have to split that. But the 61 you can split into 60 and 1. And then you multiply 80 times 60. Well, that's 4,800. And then 1 times 80, or 80 times 1, is just 80. So if I add these two, I'll get the same answer, 4,880. So either way, both strategies work well. All right, 900 ones. How many hundreds? We're working with place value here. So what you would do is you could do a couple of things. You can express this as hundreds. Well, this is the same as 900 ones is the same as 9 times 100. So that's 9 hundredths. Another way you can show it is by making a chart. So if I write the number 900, I can see the 9 is clearly in the hundreds place, so that's 9 hundredths. So use a chart or use a fact to help you. Those are your two strategies that you can use. All right, so round to nearest 10. Now I'm going to do this one, but I'm going to do a special video just on rounding, so make sure you check that one out. So I'm going to write my number over again. And I know that the nearest 10, I want to circle the tens place. And what I want to do is I want to underline the digit to the right of the circle digit. So if this number is 5 or more, you raise the score. Or if it's 4 or less, you let this rest. So this is 3, so that's 4 or less. I let this rest. all the digits to the right become zeros, and all the digits to the left stay the same. So this number rounded to the nearest 10 is 221,850. Nearest tens. So 53 is closer to 50 than it is to 60. So it's nearest 10. If it's nearest hundreds, then it would look differently. But I'll show you some examples later on. All right, this one, fill in the blank to complete the pattern. We did these last week. Just pay attention to the top numbers, the numerators. They're going up by the same amount, which is 4. So 4 plus 8 is 12. And then your bottom numbers are going up by 5s. So it would be 12/15. Most of you had success with this last week, so I expect continued success with that. All right, number 6, same thing. You want to remember to count how many parts make up the whole. Well, this is 10 parts. So this is 4/10 that's shaded in, plus another 4/10 that's shaded in. So when you add fractions, the bottom number stays the same because that's the size of your piece. So you have 8/10. And then you shade in as neatly as possible. 8 out of 10. Okay, number 7. Okay, number 7. These are new this week. This is a tenths chart, but some of them will also be divided into hundredths. So this one, since this one is divided into tenths, you know your bottom number, your denominator is going to be 10. And then you count your shaded parts. So there's 5/10. That's your fraction. As a decimal, remember, so you have, this is less than 1, so you start with a 0. You have a decimal point. And the tenths place is the first place after the decimal. So that would be 5, 0.5. And then percent, which is a 5th grade concept, but I'll teach you this. 5/10 is the same as 50 hundredths. How do I know that? Because if I were to divide this up into hundredths, 50 squares would be shaded in. I also know that because 5 times 10 is 50, so 10 times 10 is 100. That's the relationship. So percent means parts per 100, so this would be 50%. So that's how percents work. But percents is really just an extra little problem to do. It's really not until 5th grade you really get into percents. All right, so now we look at word problems. And remember, you want to be rude. You want to read, underline, you want to draw a model if necessary, and then write an equation. The classes in the 4th grade were counting the fundraiser money they earned. Mrs. Smith's class earned $995. Mrs. White's class earned $309. And Miss Edwards' class earned $615. How much did they earn in total? Well, total, if I'm looking for the total, that's going to either be multiplication or it's going to be addition. And I have 3 parts here. They're all different parts, and I'm adding dollars. So this is going to be addition. If it was multiplication, I would have 3 of the same number or groups of numbers. So I'd add this up. This is 19. And I carry the 1. This is 11. And I carry the 1 again. And 10 plus 6 is 16. 19. So $1,919. And I would write it like that in total. And then the last part, same thing. You want to underline. A box of cupcakes costs $8. If you had $314 and bought as many boxes as you could, how much money would you have left over or left? So this is division, but it's tricky because you see have left sounds like subtraction, but that's the leftovers. So I'm taking my money and I'm buying boxes of cupcakes that cost $8. How many can I buy? Well, if I use long division or the standard algorithm for division, I know 8 can't go into 3, but 8 can go into 31 3 times. And 8 times 3 is 24. And then you subtract, that's 7, bring down the 4, and you start over again. I know 8 times 9 is 72. So I would have $2 left over. Because I can't buy another box with that. I bought 39 boxes, but I want to know how much money I have left over. $2 left over. So that's our Math Daily Review. Check out for the rounding video coming up soon. All right? Take care.